Cool. Well, thank you, everybody. It's nice to see you again this afternoon. And so today I'm going to be talking about the Trecena of Ajpu, or Ajpu, as we might like to say. And Ajpu has various meanings. It can mean hunter. It can mean sun. It literally means Aj, which is he of, and Pu, which is a blowgun. That's why it's the hunter. And we always say that Ajpu is the hunt for spirit. It's the quest for the divine. I also sort of see it as a return to the source. It's returning to our original source and trying to find that in our world. It's about illumination. That's what the sun does, and it's illuminating what's inside of us, illuminating our hearts, illuminating the best that we can be, the best that we can get. It is the hero's journey. It is the hero's path. That's what we're all on throughout our life. That's what some of the most interesting, I think, books and movies have all been sort of based around. And that's what we're doing. We're going through our life. We're facing our trials. We're facing our challenges. And hopefully we're evolving and coming out better for it. Illuminated. Okay? So that's what we're here to do. But therein also lies the challenge, right? Because one of the things that I said about that is it is about the trials, the challenges. Whenever you see the great heroes in history, whether it's Hercules or or whether it's, any of them, Luke Skywalker, doesn't matter, they're all the same kind of thing, and they're going through their trial in order to get to the elixir, in order to get to the greatest that they can be. That's the hero's journey. And so the Trecena of Ajpu may well bring us challenges that we have to overcome, because it's the whole point is about finding the best that we can be, our divine essence, our divine self. And we've got 13 days to do it. Okay? So it can be a very interesting time. It can be a very powerful time as well. Because, these things come along and they knock on our door, and finally we have to face them and that kind of thing. But the only way out is through. And so we have to do it. Okay? So we're going to start with the day Hun Ajpu. Now Hun, the number 1, can also represent birth and beginnings and novelty. And it's like a newborn. It needs a little bit of a helping hand. Okay? It's looking for a little bit of advice or that. And Ajpu is the quest for the divine within ourselves. And so the day Hun Ajpu, it's like, right, okay, this is the birth of the new sun. This is the rebirth of the light within. But in order to encourage that and bring that out, we might find that we need people around us to kind of help us out a bit. But it's like the new light coming in. Sometimes, you kind of like, you go somewhere, you see something, and it puts that spark inside of you. What you could become if you were to overcome your fears and that kind of thing. Well, that can be Hun Ajpu. It's the beginning of our journey, beginning of our quest for the divine. And from Hun Ajpu, we're then going to go into Mosh. So, Mosh represents the lakes, it can represent the great oceans, it can represent the dream world. It's our connection. We all have a collective consciousness together. We're creating a psychic field together, and we're all tapping into each other's feelings. And Mosh is very, very strong with that. We understand what each and every person is feeling. It's very empathic. And the number 2 is all about duality. Now, it can represent lovers and relationships, so it might be a day to be very empathic with your lover. That's one way of looking at it. But it's also the dark and the light. And when we see that connected to the dream world, it is like this differentiation between what's dream and what's reality. Can I do this? Can I follow this path? Is it going to be too much? Is it going to be too strong? What are my qualities? Can I really do that? All of these things might be things to consider on Mosh. Now, we could also kind of like find a very strong connection to water there. And so perhaps on Mosh Day is a great day to go and sit by the lake, stare at the lake and ask, well, what is my dream? And what is the way to go? Because it's like about making choices. Choose your dream. That could be a great theme for Mosh. From Mosh we then go into 3 Ik. So Ik, the wind, the divine breath. Ik is what crafts our words. When our divine breath rises through our throats, it creates words. It's about communication. It's about the voice. And the number 3, well, the number 3 can be a bit of a challenge on the outside, but it's because all of its power is on the inside. It's about looking within. It's about your creativity coming from within. And so 3 ik could be very much about listening to your inner voice. Once again, we could see a day of retreat, a time to go and listen to, okay, which way should I be going? Okay, what does my heart say? What does my soul say? What does the hero within me say with regards to my direction? And maybe I need to go into silence on 3 ik. Maybe I need to kind of like put my headphones on and not listen to what's going on around so that I can focus on what's going on within and listen to that inner voice. From 3 ik we then go into 4 Ajpu. Ajpu, I think the best translation of Ajpu is actually twilight. It's the moment before the dawn, the moment before the sun has risen. It's when the sky is light but there's no sun in the sky. And it's a moment after sunset as well. It's the in-between world, when we birth the dream into the world, when we take the dream and we begin to turn it into a concept. And 4 Ajpu, well, the 4 is all about the material world. So this is bringing new concepts into the physical world. Now, concepts aren't ready quite. They're like little seedlings that we're planting. They still need some care. They've gone from being the seed to being something more than that. But they still need to be nurtured. They still need to be developed. It still needs to be woven. And so it's about bringing a new concept to the world. So it's a good day for getting it out into the physical, but saying, hey, look, this is a work in progress. I still need to do some more work on this before it can become all that it can be, which is a very good way of looking at ourselves, right? We're all works in progress. But this is a time to get your new concept out into the world. From 4 Ajpu, we're then going to go into 5 Kat. So Kat, the net, gathering. On your journey, you're going to need to gather some things into your net, right? When you left your home, you filled your backpack with stuff that you might need for your journey, stuff that's going to sustain you. But you realise when you got here that you're spending most of your day in flip-flops and you don't need those big heavy boots that you're carrying around anymore. And so Cat days are good days to sort through what you need to keep and what you need to get rid of. Because if you're to go on your journey, sometimes you have to travel a bit lighter. Sometimes you have to release the things which are burdening you, that are holding you back. And so 5 Cat is a great day because the number 5 is about work. So it's about working on releasing yourself from the things that bind you. Because the other thing is that the hero can't be going forwards when they're still attached to some of the things from the past. That might be thought forms which are no longer relevant to their journey. It might be stuff they're physically carrying. It might be people. It might be places. It might be systems that no longer are of meaning to it. And so 5 Cat is a great day to be dropping that stuff off, to be like releasing yourself from the things that bind you, the things that hold you back, the things that stop you from moving forward on your own hero's journey. From 5 Cat, we're then going to go into 6 Can. So Can, the serpent energy, the body lightning, Kayapa, the lightning that flows through our veins. We might think of it as Ki or Chi or Reiki. All of those things, they're all connected to this serpent energy that flows through us. It's very creative. It can be very seductive as well. Can is about wisdom and power. Can is about teachers. Those who share their wisdom empower those around them. Okay? So it's a great day to be learning stuff. It's a great day to be working with teachers. It's a great day to be working with your body lightning and getting it under control, because that body lightning that each of us carries, we can use it to heal, we can use it to create, or we can use it to destroy. We can use it for all sorts of things. So what makes the difference is learning about it. So that's what we need to do. We need to learn how to work with our energy. And the 6th day is a wonderful day for bringing it into balance. There's a 6, bringing together the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth into the physical plane, is all about balancing that energy. So however you might do it, if you want to go and do some Tai Chi or Qigong or something like that, work with your body energy, bring it into like the physical and balance it. Learn how to work with it so that you are the master of your energy rather than your energy being the master of you. From 6 Can, we then go into a very interesting day, 7 Kameh. 7 Kameh, the reason why I call it an interesting day is because 7 Kameh is actually a character in the Popol Vuh. Wukub Kameh. Okay? He is one of the Lords of Death. And there are two kind of like principal Lords of Death. Hun Kameh and Wukub Kameh. They're like the bookends. The ones which are kind of like that represent everything in between. Now, in the journey of the hero twins through the underworld, as they are finding their heroic self, as they are kind of like completing their quest, they have to defeat these two lords, and they do. And Wukub Kameh, 7 Kameh, is the final one that they defeat. Wukub 7 is endings, it's death. Kameh is death as well. So it's like the death of death. It's overcoming the things that you fear the most. So if you're to overcome the things that you fear the most, don't be surprised if they pop up on Wukub Kameh, because they're there for you to get over it. Okay? You know, whether it might be, you know, that's when you face the dragon that you've been running from all your life. But I still go back to this idea that my way of looking at it now is to make the dragon your ally and emerge from the cave riding the dragon rather than with the dragon's heart in your hand. It's not about slaying the dragon, it's about understanding it and making it your ally. And so this is the ultimate victory over what you fear. Now, what happens after you've overcome your greatest fear? You get initiated. On the day Washakib Kech, 8 Kech, the alternative day of initiation for higher level Maya guides. 8 Kech is a very, very important day. It is the connection with the mountain, it's the connection with the wilderness, the connection with the trees, where we get the wisdom from. That's why it's also the connection with spiritual guidance, because you go walk in the mountain, you go walk in the trees. That's where you get your instructions from. And this is a great thing to be doing on 8 Kech. 8 Kech is a great day for ceremony, of course, initiation ceremonies in particular. But 8 Kech is a day to spend in the wilderness. It's where you receive your gift, that's where you receive your initiation. And so these are, you know, when all Kech days are great days to go and be out in nature, but, you know, having overcome your greatest fear, 8 Kech might be a very, very powerful yet balanced day to be out in the forest communicating. From 8 Kech we then go into another very, very interesting day, 9 Anil. 9 Anil. Anil, the seed. Anil, the ripening, the yellowing, okay? Coming to our maturity. So it's all about bringing maturity to life. It's all about coming to our ripeness, our full and abundant ripeness. And here we have it with the number 9, the number of the feminine. It's the number of life itself. So 9 Anil is literally bringing your life to ripeness. You can imagine why that's kind of like seen as an exciting, powerful and exceptionally positive day. It can also be about, of course, the divine feminine. It's about women. So you may find that in particular, it's the women around you that help you to ripen on that day. It's that, you know, they bring out your true golden nature. From 9 Anil we then go into 10 Toch. So Anil days, I often see them as we're receiving the bounty, we're receiving the ripened harvest. Toch days is where we give back. Toch days is where we make our ceremony. Toch days is where we give our candles. We give a little back for what we've received. They're great days for settling debts. Now 10 Toch is a great day. The 10 is this, it's community, it's holding hands, it's cooperation. And so 10 Toch is about community coming together to make ceremony. Community coming together to help out. Because Toch is all about your service as well. You know, we can make our ceremony, we can burn candles, we can do all of that, but we can also go and pick up the trash. We can do all those kind of like community services. We can help out in the soup kitchen or whatever it is that we might need to do. Tentac is a great day to be paying your debt to the community. So if you want to give to somebody like Odim, who are doing the medical and educational programs in San Pablo, Tentac is a great day to do it. From Tentac, we're then going to go into 11C. So Z, the Nawal of faith and justice and loyalty. Z can also be the temptations, it's the earthly pleasures as well. And with the number 11 attached to it, it might be quite an interesting day to say the least. You might find that that strong and somewhat directionless 11 might be calling you all over the place. You might find many physical temptations going on that day. And it's up to you to find your path through them, because you're still on your hero's journey, right? You're still finding your way. And of course it's like, you know, you've received your initiation, you've ripened, you've done your community service, you think you're on the home stretch. And then along comes that great temptation to say, but are you really ready? Have you really done the work? And that's 11C. So be aware of what might be pulling you astray on 11C. What physical pleasures might come your way and you think, oh, come on, nobody's going to know, or whatever, you know. It's like, yeah, staying on your path, staying loyal to your path, staying true to yourself, keeping the faith. From 11C, we're then going to go to 12 bats. Now, 12 bats is actually going to be equinox for us. It will be the 20th of March this year, which is 12 bats. And so, this is a day of balance. Bats, a day of creativity, and the number 12, bringing all of your life experiences together. So, what a wonderful day, right? This is creating this beautiful weaving your notes, weaving your words, weaving your voice, weaving your movement into a beautiful dance, using everything that you've ever experienced in your life as the threads which create that tapestry. It's a wonderful day for creativity. If you have something to paint or draw or whatever it might be, 12 bats is a very, very powerful day to be in touch with your creative essence. And then finally, we're going to go into 13 the spirit path. 13 representing the spirit world, 13 representing the ancestors. The destination of the Ajpu Trecena, where we're going to end up on the spiritual path. That's our great reward, that's our great journey. It shows us our way forward. It connects us with the ancestors. 13 days are great days for divination. They're great days to get readings of whatever kind, because the ancestors are speaking freely that day. I mean, you might not even need to get a reading, because you might just know it, because you're connected with the ancestors anyway. But it's a great day to be understanding what's on your spiritual path. What doors might close and which ones might open. You know, it's kind of like the ancestors, you may well find them speaking freely on that day to guide you on your path, to show you the way forward. Now that you've received the elixir, now that you've done your journey, it's time to find your true spiritual path, and 13 is the day to bring that out. Okay? So thank you everybody, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll see you again in 13 days' time.